In the inverted duty, in the inverted duty, we can take the refund of capital goods, input service, and input. Please confirm which component are eligible for taking the refund under inverted duty structures. We all have discussed. Please confirm which component I am entitled to take the refund under inverted duty structures. मैं रिफंड किसका ले सकता हूं? कैपिटल गुड्स का ले सकता हूं रिफंड, इनपुट सर्विस का ले सकता हूं, या सिर्फ इनपुट का ले सकता हूं? The answer is only input. Answer is only input. Now, how to calculate the refund amount? They are saying turnover of the inverted dated supply of the goods and services. Can anybody tell me why this word and services are there? Can anybody tell me why the word and services are there? Because the restriction is on input only. The restriction on input service refund only. But there is no restriction. For inverted duty for making the outward supply of service. कहने का मतलब क्या है? आप रिफंड नहीं ले सकते इनपुट सर्विस का, बट इनपुट का रिफंड आपको मिल जाएगा इवन दो योर आउटवर्ड सप्लाई इज सर्विसेज. I have given one example of the work contract also, correct? So whatever the inverted dated supply the goods and services ka turnover multiplied by net ITC divided by total turnover. So basically what they are doing, they are calculating the net ITC in the proportion of inverted sale. इस कंपोनेंट से क्या आ जाएगा कि मेरी जो आईटीसी है उसको मैं इन्वर्टेड के पर्टेन में कितनी बिलोंग करती है, आई एम जस्ट प्रोपोर्शनेटली कैलकुलेटिंग. मैं यहां पर इस पार्ट में क्या कर रहा हूं, इस पार्ट में मैं सिर्फ इतना कर रहा हूं कि आई एम डूइंग द प्रोपोर्शनेट फंडा, प्रोपोर्शनेट कॉन्सेप्ट विद नेट आईटीसी. किस प्रोपोर्शन में? द प्रोपोर्शन इज इन द टर्नओवर ऑफ इन्वर्टेड डेटेड सप्लाईज. जैसे मान लो मेरी टोटल सेल 10 लाख रुपए है, लेट्स से, and I have the inverted sale of 2 lakh. My net ITC is, let's say, 4 lakh rupees. Now, my net ITC, total net ITC is 4 lakh rupees. Then I can say out of the 4 lakh, 80,000 pertain to inverted sale and balance 3,20,000 pertain to other sale. What I'm doing here, I am saying 2 lakh multiplied by 4 lakh divided by 10 lakh. Then we also know that the inverted rated, there will be some tax rate on the outward supply. ऐसा नहीं कि वो exempt है. This is the only difference from zero rated या जो export की हम बात करते थे. Because in the case of export, we know that export can be made against LUT and then there will be no tax liability. But zero rate, but the inverted rated will have the some tax rate. It cannot be exempted, correct? So they are saying this is the ITC in proportion to the inverted rated supplies. Now kindly reduce the tax liability. Let's say I have the 2 lakh ka sale multiplied by, let's say I have the 5% tax rate, or let's say 12% tax rate applicable on this my inverted sale. So 80,000 minus 24,000. So balance amount will be refunded. Now Gujarat This is the old formula. I am not giving too much of the time. Net ITC means ITC availed on input. Okay. Other than ITC availed on which refund is claimed under 4A4B. So 4A4B is being excluded. Adjusted and relevant is same we have discussed in the export. Now this was very important judgment regarding this inverted rated tax structures. Gujarat High Court has given the favorable decision to the revenue or to the taxpayer that input service should also be allowed as refund. But Madras High Court, this is the judgment, they have given the contradictory. Contradictory means Gujarat High Court was saying refund should be permitted for input as well as input service. But Madras High Court saying that law is correct, input service ka refund should not be permitted. The matter went to High Supreme Court and then finally they have upheld the decision of Madras High Court. What means? Means input service are not permitted under inverted duty. That is clear. But while giving the decision, they are also saying that kindly remove the anomaly in the formula of the refund. So what they have did, council has changed the formula. This is the maximum refund amount old formula and this is the new formula from 5th July 2022. This is till this part I can say it is same. Till this part it is same. They have added this part. Now try to understand the logic of adding because I have listened from good amount of the people that from 5th July 2022, from 5th July 2022, now you can take the refund of input service also under inverted duty. This is wrong statement. No, the adding doesn't mean this component which has been added, it doesn't mean that SSE would be entitled to take the refund of input service also. No. Then what is the meaning of this addition? Let me talk. So now again, same example. I have the turnover of 2 lakh. I have the total turnover of 10 lakh. What is the net ITC? I have given you the net ITC of 4 lakh rupees. Okay. Now, what was the tax payable on the inverted dated supplies? 2 lakh multiplied by 12% I have given. Now, what is happening? This 4 lakh consists of only input because we know that in the inverted dated tax structure, I can take the refund of only input. So basically, the 80,000 which comes, I can say this 80,000 is pertaining to input only. Are you agree with me? I am saying this 80,000 is basically pertaining to only input because I have taken the ITC of input only for calculating the refund. Then I have removed entire 24,000. This was the problem which has been corrected. What was the problem? You can restrict that you will give the refund. Government can restrict that you will give the refund of only input, not input service, not capital goods. No problem. But are they allowed to restrict the tax liability? Are they allowed that under inverted duty you can pay the tax only through input? क्या वो ये restrict कर सकते हैं? आप जितना भी टैक्स लाइबिलिटी होगा इन्वर्टेड का उसको डिस्चार्ज करेंगे सिर्फ इनपुट से नहीं. It can be input, it can be input service, it can be anything. So now what they are saying, earlier they were removing entire 24,000. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? It means that the tax liability on the inverted rated duty structure can be paid through ITC of input. That was wrong. So what they are saying? Now they are saying we will not remove entire 24,000. We will also do the proportionate in the net ITC divided by total ITC of input and input service. Assume the net ITC of input is 4 lakh and net ITC of input service was 1 lakh. It's hypothetically I'm assuming. So what is saying? Earlier, which we were reducing entire 24,000, now the 24,000 would be reduced. How it will be reduced? Because you are doing the apportionment. You are dividing in the ratio of input and input service availed during the tax period. So what you are doing? You are saying 4 lakh net ITC divided by 4 plus 1. ये 1 किसका है? This is ITC of input service. So I can say to some extent it will be reduced. Let's say इसको 2 लाख कर लेते हैं just for ease of calculation. Just for ease of calculation. 6 lakh. So it will be 16,000. Now I can say 80,000 minus 16,000. Earlier it was 80,000 minus 24,000, by which I can say the refund amount would be increased. I am repeating once again, by applying this formula, by making the changes in the formula, by adding the input service in the denominator in the formula, it doesn't mean that a refund of input service would also be permitted in the inverted duty. Why I am saying so? Because the word net ITC is still ITC availed on input during the relevant relevant period, जिस भी period का आप refund file कर रहे हैं. Why this formula has used this particular input service? So that the tax liability should not be discharged only by using the ITC of input. So now what they are doing? They are also tax liability. They are reducing only to the extent of input. So क्या कर रहे हैं वो लोग? They are doing first जितना भी tax liability है, they are calculating proportionate in the ratio of input and input service. और वो जो input के pertain का जितना भी tax liability है, they are reducing. And by this, the slightly I can say the refund amount to the taxpayer would increase. For this, they have given the clarification in the circular 181. You can read that various component कि ये refund कब से apply होगा, ये नया formula कब से apply होगा, कौन से period के लिए apply होगा. Now, please, I am giving you the question which you need to solve. Turnover of inverted dated supplies 10 lakh rupees. Turnover of other goods 6 lakh rupees. Total turnover 16 lakh. ITC availed for the month. Input, the rate is 18%, 1,20,000. Input service, 30,000. Capital goods, 50,000. Total ITC 2 lakh. Assume the rate on outward supply is 5%. So it is inverted. Now please calculate according to this new formula, kitna refund milega, what is the maximum refund amount? Please calculate and give me the answer. Please calculate and give me the answer. Kindly give me the answer in the chat, and then we will discuss answer of the maximum refund amount. So what is the answer? My request would be, this is the data you need to calculate the maximum refund amount. I request everyone please give the answer. Attempt तो कीजिए. Please try to solve and then give the answer now. Okay, give me one component. What is the turnover of inverted dated supplies of the goods and services? In this example, what is the turnover of inverted dated supplies of the goods and services? Just give me answer. What is the turnover of inverted dated supplies of the goods and services? 10 lakh. What is the net ITC? What is the net ITC? Turnover of inverted dated supply of the goods, you have given me the 10 lakh rupees. Okay. What is the net ITC? 120 plus 30 plus 52 कितना करना है? Answer is 120 because net ITC is only input. We cannot add input, service and capital goods. ठीक है. What is the total turnover? What is the total turnover? What is the total turnover? 16 lakh. What is the total turnover? Is it six? It is 16 lakh. Correct. So I can say 16 lakh. अब इसमें से हमें माइनस करना है. What is the net ITC? What is the turnover of? What is the tax payable on the inverted dated supplies of the goods? कितना tax payable है? How much tax is payable on the inverted dated sale? How much tax is payable on inverted dated sale? 5% on this turnover. 10 लाख का 5% कितना हुआ? 50,000. Multiplied by now net ITC कितना? You have already told 120 divided by 150 divided by 150. This part is major changes. Again, let me repeat why this they have made the changes. The changes doesn't mean you are allowed to take the refund of input service under inverted duty. No, it is only saying that earlier you are reducing the entire tax liability, which is the giving the meaning that in the inverted rated sale, the liability can only be paid through input, which is not correct. So now they are saying जितना भी liability है, this much of the liability we will also proportionately reduce in the input and input service. तो जितना भी to the extent it is for input, we will reduce that much of the amount. So kindly tell me the answer. Kindly give me the मतलब means calculation. 10 divided by 60 answer for this calculation. फर्स्ट पार्ट का कितना आएगा? फर्स्ट पार्ट का आंसर बता दीजिए. 70. अच्छा ओके. 75,000 minus 40,000. तो आंसर would be 35,000. I hope it is clear to all. So inverted dated अपना complete हो गया discussion.